about the part. We are going. You have the part emailed to you, and we're going to be making the what I call the spindle base of the record player. If we look at that, it's round, right? It's round, and it looks like this. Okay. Section view, right? Don't worry, this is going to be short because I just want to get straight to the point. All right, section view. This spindle of the record player comes down this bore here, right? Right? And there's a magnet in red attached to it, and then there's the other part that holds the other magnet, all right? And that other magnet is right here. And there's roughly about 100 thousandths in between the magnets, okay? Here's where I'm going. This magnet's mounted to this part. This magnet's mounted to the spindle, okay? The spindle spins. The spindle rotates, okay? So in order for everything to be aligned, registered properly, okay? For everything to be aligned, so what I'm after here is, I'm going to erase these parts now, is for this surface, these three, I want these two surfaces to be perpendicular, as perfect as I can. Perpendicular. Perpendicular meaning, okay, perpendicular to this spindle bore. Okay? Because those two magnets, I want those two magnets, which are on two different parts, to be as parallel as possible. Okay? So, what I'm going to do, I think, is I am going to hold this part in the lathe. There's my chuck jaw, right? Like this. And I am going to machine all this in. So the red goes away without taking it out of the lathe. Okay? If I can get all this material removed and spot on to dimension without removing it, then I know that these two surfaces here, these two surfaces are perpendicular to this spindle bore. Okay? And everything, if I do it all without taking it out, not only is everything perpendicular and parallel to each other, it's also, this is round, it's also concentric. So I'm looking for parallelism, perpendicularity, and concentricity all on one shot, okay? And the way that I'm going to do that, the strategy, is by getting this part in the lathe and not taking it out, okay? Finishing it. when we go out to the shop to do this first part, I think I can erase this now. What I'm going to do is, I don't have a piece of, here are the chuck jaws again. In a perfect world, I would, here's the back of the chuck. If I had a piece of stainless steel that was this big, I could just put the whole thing in there, and it would be, here's the stainless steel, and it would be hanging out the machine, all right? And I could do all my work. Okay? Then I could do all my work. I could even turn it down, right? So then it would look something like that. And everything would be done. Then I could go over to the bandsaw, and I could cut this off, put it back in the lathe, and face off the bandsaw, and guess what? The part would be done. That would be awesome. Guess what? I don't have a piece of stainless steel that big. And I don't have enough money to go out and buy one. Alright? Yeah, I do, but I'm not going to. Because that's not what we do in the machine shop. That good machinist goes back to the questions that you guys asked. That's why these questions are so good. Good machinists solve problems. That's what they do. Yeah, my setup is going to be a little bit sketchy, but guess what? I know that. So I'm like, cool. I'm going to be able to, I'm going to be able to get through this, I think, right? Without having to go out and spend $150 or $200 on a piece of stainless that big so I could hold it in the lathe, all right? I've got half that size. Okay? And I'm gonna cut that off in the lathe. Okay, so here's our order of operations for this part, all right? What's in red is the chuck, and what's in blue is our stainless steel, okay? It's a piece of 304 stainless. It's tough stuff. It's hard and gummy. It does not like to be machined. It doesn't like it, all right? But we'll overcome that, all right? So what I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do, because remember I went on that whole thing, about my material isn't big enough? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to put it in like this, holding on to a lot of it. And I'm going to face it, all right? I'm going to face it, and I'm going to turn it down, not to final dimension. I'm going to turn it down. I'm just going to make it nice and round, okay? So that's my first operation, all right? Operations, okay? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use those tool that we made on the mill, that little steel that you'll see in a minute, and I'm going to hold on to this part by just a little bit. I know. And if there's any machinists out there watching these videos, they're like, "Ah, it's a recipe for disaster." And yeah, no, all right. But I've got my chuck stops that we made. Okay, you'll see those. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to face this. Oops. I'm going to face it again. Okay. And I'm going to turn it to finished diameter. Okay? So then it's gonna be like that. And then, so now I'm gonna have finished diameter. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out for the third time, and it's the finished diameter, and I'm going to go ahead and hold it with all the way in the part and all the way in the jaws, and go ahead and machine the action in, right? all the important stuff. I'm going to be using, I wouldn't call them soft jaws, but I'm going to be using some copper jaw protectors that I made. You'll see that, okay, to protect the finished surface of the part. So that's the game plan. Problem solving. So we'll see what happens. We got a lot to figure out. We got to nail those feeds and speeds. Okay, like we got to nail those feeds and speeds. And I think I got an idea about what we got, and I'll just talk. Oh, when I got the part hanging out there, I'm going to take very small. I forgot to say it. I'm going to take very, very small cuts. Okay, because of the forces will kick the part out, and so I'm going to take very, very tiny cut. Not like 2,000s, but I'm going to be taking like 20,000s cuts instead of something that I probably could take a lot more and save a bunch of time. I'm going to take small cuts. And I'm just going to talk as we go. This is going to, because it's stainless steel, the actual machine time is going to be really long. It's going to take me half of a day to make this, all right? So I'm not going to necessarily film the whole thing. And the parts that we do see, a lot of it will be in you know, faster time, like 8 times. All right, okay. So we'll look at the print real quick and the material and discuss some things, and we'll be on the lathe. Okay, so there's our part. It's a little bit easier, I think, to read this time than the last one. The last one was not so hot. Sorry about that, guys. We're just going to go over this like we always do real briefly here. And what we've got is, you can see that profile that I was talking about on the board right here. And everything here, you know, we're going to do plus or minus 3,000ths. Plus or minus, we're going to, if we don't nail it, we're going to be within that range, okay? Everything except for this spindle bore right here, okay? This 1 1/8 bore. I had mentioned lapping in the past, and so we're going to end up lapping this bore, okay? Not in this video. And so I'm going to machine this to 1.121 to 1.22, okay? A bit undersized. That way I have some room to lap, all right? But not so undersized that I'm going to be lapping for half of or for a whole day. So I'm going to try and nail that. I think I'll be able to. This non-concentric circle here, that's right here too on the cutaway view or the hidden lines. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that on the CNC machine, not because I have to, but because I want to use that as a good demo for. That's a good demo for the CNC. It'd be a nice short video for y'all. Okay, and then so that's what we're up to. We're going to pretty much take care of this whole thing, except for like I said, the non-concentric hole. This 1/4 inch hole right here, because that'll be on the CNC, and then these 4 tapped holes, I'm going to do that separately as well, all right? So here's our material. It's right here. This is a good, it's not that big, but it's a good chunk of stainless. I'd say it's, you know, it's a good 15 pounds probably. It's not light. It's 304, okay? It even says on here on the sticker, it's 304L. It's 4 1/4 inches round, okay? And we're looking about, what do we got? We are in the neighborhood of 4 1/2 inches long. I I have come up with a way, I think, to safely hold this, okay, in the lathe. Like I had mentioned, I was going to do something that wasn't so smart. I think I came up with a way to do it safely. And so we're off, okay? And so this has been bandsawed. You guys, this is a remnant that I got at Industrial Metal Supply. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't expensive, it wasn't cheap, but it's a remnant, okay? And just letting you know. So let's go over to the lathe and get this chucked up. Before, I need this too. So here are a few more tools that I'm going to be using here. What I've got is my scale, my calipers, obviously. There's more coming. This is just the basics. This is a 61 and 64th inch drill. Here's a 1/2 inch drill. It's a little smoked, so I'll have to maybe touch that up. My center drill, my drill chuck. I got some needle nose pliers here because I know that the chips are going to be stringy, bird's nesty, and sharp. And they're going to be nasty chips. So I'm going to be pulling those out with needle nose pliers. I'm going to put this down. Also, I got a new tool, and I'd really like to thank Dr. Leo, Industrial Tech, for this tool. He got this for me. This is, I'm so excited. I've only used it once just to play with it actually. And so this is the first time I'm going to actually use it. It's a Noga magnetic base indicator holder, okay? And holds a standard indicator. I got a new indicator too, but this is the old one. It's okay. It's just, I got a new one coming. And so we're gonna be rocking and rolling on that. So let's go ahead and get this part in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna need this, and so I'm gonna open this up on the scroll. Okay. And I'm gonna make sure and put the lathe into neutral, and I'm gonna make sure that each of my jaws are in that detent position that I had mentioned before. The jaws this is the only 4-jaw chuck with a scroll I've ever even seen. So I don't know if, you know, if any of you have ever seen one before, let me know. And so I'm making sure that they're all in the same position. So we'll just go ahead and put this in and use the scroll to tighten it up. That should be all right. I'm not going to use the jaw protectors quite yet. I don't need to because we're going to be machining that off. So that's pretty good. Just nice and loose like that. Okay. And gonna get our indicator here, and so it has a on and off switch on the magnet, okay? And I'm still gonna use it the same way. I like to mount it on my tool post. Maybe I'll change now that I have this great indicator holder, and it's got this really awesome articulating arm that locks in literally one knob. So this is a very rigid system. It's just fantastic. Okay, I'm in neutral. Okay, and see, so I'm just gonna preload my indicator here. Okay, and let's see how out we are. We're kind of out. We're 25 plus out, so let's find that high spot. And I'm wondering if that, no, we'll do it this way. All right, so when we just start going. there. Bringing this in. Okay, I gotta loosen this up a little. Let's see, loosen this up. And I know there's indicator glare. Every YouTube machinist, I think, not that I'm not a YouTube machinist, but every YouTube machinist that I see battles the indicator glare. And you just need like a special like shield or lens or something to get rid of that. So there's a low spot. I'm going to pull that out. And now we're hovering. See that we're hovering about 2.5, maybe 3,000. So we're hovering around 3,000. Two thousandths. Okay. So it's just a balancing act, all right? So now I'm within 1. On material that has not been machined, you know, I can't say you're gonna get much better than that. After it's been machined, you can get the needle to not even move. That's for sure, if you spend the time. But, okay, let's just make sure we're, okay, yeah, we're within a thou. All right, so we're good there. We're within 1/1000th of an inch. Yeah, just took it out of that. This. Okay. And I'm going to remove my new tool. Okay. And I'm going to run at about 360. I'm going to run at 360 RPM. Okay. And so you know what that looks like. So I'm going to be running about 360 RPM. And I'm going to use this carbide tool. I got an insert in there. And what I'm going to do is just face this, okay? Lightly. Let's see how this goes. Think I'm just gonna change my geometry just a little there. Okay. I was telling you, the chips are going to be stringy. And I'm just doing this manually. No power feed. Yet. Alright, let's see how we're looking here with this. I don't want to huff this insert just right out of the gate, right? Okay. So that's pretty good. Okay, we look okay. All right, so let's Let's use the power feed. See where we're at here, not bad. And about there, and let's see how this does. That's cutting pretty good. Okay. Okay. I'm pleased with that. That's nice. Okay, I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my tool geometry there it is, straight again, because this is the way the insert was designed to cut. The way I just had it really wasn't. I was just trying to. It's a light cut. And only one, not a whole bunch of them. I just hope I didn't blow the tip off my insert. I didn't already. And now I'm just going to turn this down. I'm not gonna take it even dimension. I'm just gonna make it round, okay? So I'm gonna touch off here. And I'm only gonna take, I don't know, I don't need to take that much. Maybe 10 thousandths. And let's see what we, oop. Going the wrong way. Okay. See how we're. So that's cutting pretty good. Now this was the end of that. It's a remnant, so I might have to take another pass. Because that it comes, don't worry about it. Okay. Let's see what we look like here. Yeah. That's nice. I'm gonna take just another quick pass. About just like the same I did before. Okay, so I'm gonna take 15 this time. Right about there. And I think that's less than 15, but I'll take it. Okay. That's really nice. Okay. So we don't have as much figuring out as I thought we would have to do. Thought we were going to have to play with the feeds and the speeds a little bit, but I think I got it. So that's at about 360 RPM, and I'm running slow. Especially for carbide, I'm running slow. It's a little gummy. Insert seems to be okay. I might have gotten it on the facing because I didn't face it right. Okay, so let's go take this out. And all right, let's see. And so I'll just loosen this. You know what? Hang on. Go back here.
see if we're still, yeah. I'm gonna take a file and just knock this corner off. Just any kind of burr. I don't want it to get in the way of my setup, all right? And yeah, that'll be fine. And so let's take this out. Okay. Take this out. And let's clean the face of the jaw here. The chuck, sorry. Put this in neutral. And so, do you remember these? We made these on the mill, okay? And I went in and I finished them. And they are on a T-slot here. And this screw tightens, so I can't tighten this bolt without a wrench. This screw locks that, see that slit? It really locks it into place, all right? These are from, I did not invent these. These are from a gentleman named Tom Lipton of Ox Tools. So just gonna get a couple of these started. Put these in here, and what they are adjustable stops, which I'm going to demonstrate in a moment. And like this. Okay. One more. All right. Now, these things are really cool. Okay, so put my mag base back on. And this time, I'm still getting used to these, but I have a feeling it's not going to take much to get used to. This articulating arm is just, I gotta tell you, it is just fantastic. Okay. Snug that up a little bit more. And neutral. Make sure we clear the jaws so it doesn't bang on the indicator. There we go. And I think we're okay. Yeah, we're clearing the jaws. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to preload my indicator on these backstops. That's too much. I need a new indicator. Or I need to fix it, one or the other. So just a little bit of preload there. So I'm at 40, okay? And then I'm going to move to the next screw. And let's see what the next screw is saying 43. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw it in with a wrench. And now it says 40. This one comes along. This one says 41. So I'll screw this in. So our target is 40 on all 4 screws. Just a little bit. Man, they were really there. I wonder how that's even possible. Okay. 40. Maybe a little bit. There we go. Let's see. 40. 40. All right, so far so good. Now what I should have done is measured. Blake. And okay, I want these to come out a little bit further. So what I'm gonna do is what I do with the wrench. Yeah, there it is. I'm gonna back these out. To 0. Let's make that say 0, and we'll move to the next one. Back these out just so it says 0. Let's keep going. Move my shoot. Happened there. Make this say 40. Close enough because I'm gonna have to come back, come around. All right, almost there. I think I just have one more to do. Let's see what the scale says now. Yeah, it's a little better. I gave myself a little bit more clearance on my part. So, the scale is telling me I'm about 5/8. 5/8 between the front of this bolt to the face of my jaws. It's about 5/8. So that's good. Now let's just get these all perfect. So we'll do 40 again. The number doesn't matter, remember, guys. All I care about is that they're all the same height. So that one's a little high. Finding the high spot there, that's pretty good. Real gentle. Just go in. Couple thou. Right there. What we got here? This one comes out a little bit. Oop. Oh, that's where I got it on the, that's what I did. I moved it on the wrench. New tools. So, just need to be patient. Okay. Pull this out a little bit there. Okay. So 41. Down to 40. All right. Just do a quick check here. I know you guys might think this is boring, but this is pretty cool stuff for me, actually. This is This is fun stuff. I dig it. And especially that they're tools that I made. All right. So that's set. We can go ahead and loosen mag base. Put that aside. And what we're gonna do is put this in here. Okay. And so I think you see what's going on. I've got these bolts acting as a backstop, okay? And that is enabling me to hold on by a very little bit, which is the part that I was also telling you. Oop, I gotta fix, darn it, I gotta fix my jaw. Is not safe. And I'm gonna explain why it's not safe. I gotta fix this one. Wasn't in that detent. All right. Let's see. Make sure they're all in the same. Yeah, there we go. That one is not. There we are. Okay. Let's see if this fits in here. Yeah. And then I'm going to explain to you why it's not safe. Okay. Just snug that up. I got some shim stock here. I want to see. This is a thou thick. I want to make sure that I'm on all the nuts. So if I can fit the shim stock in there, right? Like that one, I can tell it's just the thou way too. It's like a feeler gauge. I know that I'm on the bolt head, which I am. Okay. And grab our mag base. Get that magnet on. All right. Re-articulate here. Yeah. This is a great tool. This really is a great tool. All right. And what I can do is preload. And let's indicate this in. Okay. All right, so we're a good 30 away. No problem. Okay. Let's see this. Well, this one. There we go. All right. So we're actually running within a half a thou, and it's tight. Okay. So I've got some explaining to do. Let me put this in. When this tool comes along, it's exerting a pressure, and it's not just in Z, okay? It's on X too, so it's that way as well, okay? And there's so much pressure that it could actually take this part and rip it out, okay? So before I turn this, I'm gonna really lightly face this, okay? I mean really lightly. And then I'm gonna put a center drill in here. I'm gonna center drill it, okay? And I'm going to lightly, and then I'm gonna support it with this live center, okay? And then we'll be able to turn this to diameter. And at that point, I'll be able to get this back into the chuck safely, okay? And it's okay because this is gonna end up getting faced off anyway at the very end. So really lightly here, I am going to break a bunch of rules. Every machinist is gonna go, oh my God, you don't know what you're doing. I lost the Allen wrench. Where'd the Allen wrench go? There, under the rag. And I'm just gonna lightly face this, okay? And it still is, this is still not okay, all right, to do. It's not, the material is not supported enough in the vise, okay? I can't really stress that enough. Whoops. That was in neutral. So back to 360. And this has been bandsawed, so it looks all weird. We want to look here, okay? And it's running really good. It's running really good. So I'm gonna really lightly, and I mean really, really lightly face this. We don't want any accidents. Okay. I'm actually gonna use my Z gauge, and so I know what I'm cutting here. All right. So I'm only gonna take 10 thousandths, okay? Which is nothing. And I'm going slow. Okay. So you can see that that's what I've got, which is pretty nice. And so I got a little bit more bandsaw marks. I don't even really, yeah, I do. I'm gonna just hit another 10, and I might even say that's good. Chips are coming off pretty good. All right. Let's see how we look. I think I might. No, one more pass. One more. That's it. I'm even going to lock the carriage, just so I keep things. We can see there. I probably should have measured with the indicator to make sure it didn't move, but I didn't. What determines the stringy chips is my feed rate and my depth of cut, my spindle speed, mostly my feed rate and my depth of cut. So we pretty much got that. There might be a couple spots left out, but we're gonna call that there. Take this out and move this over. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put a center drill. This is gonna be a little bit safer than what I was just doing. So, right. Drill chuck in the tailstock. The reason why I'm a little bit hesitant of doing this is because the tailstock, these tailstocks are, they're not the most accurate thing in the world. And they're at an angle kind of, and they dive. They mostly dive. And you know, when I set them up, and you know, you can move them, you can straighten them out, they just fall out, you know, so fast. It's just like, man, you know, it's frustrating. So we'll see. Let's see. Make sure not gonna crash. Just give this a turn, and I need a little bit of cutting oil here. So with the carbide, I didn't need to use any cutting fluid. This center drill here is high-speed steel, and so I am going to use a little bit of cutting fluid. I've locked the tailstock to the ways. I can't move it, and I'm able to drill in with what's called the ram here, okay? And so we can go ahead and turn this on. I'm just gonna drop a little bit, not a lot, I don't need a lot, just a little bit. Just wanna get the chips. Sorry guys, I ran out of batteries there, but luckily it let me know. So anyway, let's put the center drill in. Drop a little bit oil there since I walked away for a minute. All right. I think you can see that pretty good. All right. That's probably good enough. I'll just hit that a little bit more. Yeah, that'll work. All right. So what I'm up to here is, take this out. That center drill, its angle right here matches the angle of this live center, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop this live center in here. Make sure there's no chips. And move this up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give myself a lot of space. Okay. So I'm just going to, let's actually see here. Don't need that anymore. And I'm going to be turning, so I'm going to straighten my tool out just like we did before. Okay, and that should be fine. So what I'm going to do is this live center, because it spins, I'm going to make contact with the center drill. Okay, I got the tailstock locked to the ways, and I'm just going to give it just a little bit of pressure. Now I'm pushing up against those bolts, right? And now I'm just going to lightly lock this ram, okay? Not too tight. And so when I turn the lathe on, you can see that the center's spinning. Now I've got support, okay? The reason why I put the tool in there is because I wanted to make sure I had space. But what I want to do is I want to, let's see here. I want to check to see how round I am. Okay. Hopefully. It's not gonna. Let's see how much we moved in this setup. I don't think you guys can. Oh yeah, you can. So we're half a thou. We're half a thou, and that is absolutely okay. Okay. Make sure I don't. All right. So now I'm going to put the tool back in, and I'm going to machine real close up to the jaws, and I'm going to get this to be 4 inches. And now, see, I have support now, so it's a lot safer of an operation than just turning without support. Okay, so this worked out well. And I'm going to touch off. Okay, and I'm going to take, I don't know, 25, and let's see how that goes. That's the wrong way. And I'm going to speed it up just a little. The power feed, that is. Okay, that's pretty good. I just want to see the finish and make sure I'm not tearing. I'm not. That's not bad at all. It could be a little bit better, but I'm roughing. So let's do another, let's try 30. See how that goes. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. And no strings either, which is fantastic. Okay. Let's see, let's just do another 30, and then I'm gonna measure. Well, I'll take this up to the chuck jaws. Okay. Yeah, that's close. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple measurements here. First one is the diameter. I know that I have a ways to go. How about 170, roughly? I'm only going to take 100 before I measure again. And I want to see here, I don't need this to be exact, but I do want it to be, whoops. I do want it to be finished all the way around. And I am. So as long as I go up to that witness line right there, I'll be fine. Okay, so we want 4 inches in diameter, and this is up to the witness line is 3.75. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take I'm going to take a few passes and then measure, and then I'll come back to you at the finish pass. Okay, you've seen it. Okay, so I've got 20 thousandths to go, and I'm gonna do that on the finish pass, okay? Stainless steel likes to have a little bit of bite. It doesn't like whisper cuts, okay? Because it likes to grab on to something, the chip, all right? It doesn't like, it'll just rub if you try and cut too little. It's just too hard, okay? So I'm gonna do a real slow, there it is, and okay, and hopefully that will look good. You know what? I'm gonna speed it up. I'm gonna put it in yeah, I gotta speed that up. So, sorry guys. Just speed up the feed rate a little, that's too slow. All right, and yeah. Okay. And let's see. That's nice. That's pretty. And we are 1 thou under. So we're at 3.999. So that is absolutely fine. Insert looks in reasonably good shape. And the part's not that warm, which is great, which means all the heat went into the cutter and the chip. Oh, definitely. So we are looking good there. And so I'm just gonna do one last thing here. I get this to fit. Well, I will. Let's take this. What I'm gonna do is move this chamfering tool so it'll fit. There we go. Break this up so I've got a little bit more room to turn this wrench. What I want to do, what I'm up to, is I just want to break this edge. This is finished, by the way. This is done. This side, completely. So, just going to lightly break this edge. Right there. Okay. So that's our. Yep. That looks nice. There's our part. Take this out and move this way. This out of the way. Okay. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tear down and I'm going to flip the part, okay? I don't think you guys need to see that, unless you, well, maybe you want to. All right, so what I got here, I cleaned up. I brushed away the chips, got things kind of cleaned up. What I've got here are, I'm not going to call these soft jaws, but these are little copper jaw protectors that I made. Once again, I got the idea from a gentleman, I got that stuck, named Tom Lipton. So this has definitely been taken, this idea has been taken from him. You can put, you know, you could just put little pieces of aluminum or something in there, but I like these a lot. So what we're gonna do is got this, and the reason those jaw protectors are there is so that these impressions of the jaws don't mar our finished part, right? So make sure I bought my phone. So I'm just going to bring this in here, okay, and sort of, yeah, and back to the indicator. Let's see. Is make sure I'm flat up against the back, and I'm also gonna run a couple other reference checks just to see, just to see. So that all right, that dial's barely moving. I hope you can see that. All right, so that's in there pretty good. I'm just gonna check to see, you know, how off we are. So over, I don't know, 3 inches maybe, we got a thou. Let's check this. And I want to kind of see that it does the same thing. Make sure it's not crooked. I'm not looking to make sure that it's... So as I'm going in, the indicator's always rising 2000s on all these 4 spots. And I'm kind of just looking in which it's doing. So I'm looking for repeatability. And by seeing that, I know that this is in there nice and true. Okay, so that's really in there pretty good. All right. Okay. Let's see here. So, I think what I'm gonna do, I can get that in there like this. I don't know if I'm not gonna be able to. Let's face this off. Let's get rid of this material. Yeah, that is a lot of material, but let's get rid of that, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this up so it's a lot like turning. So I'm still using the tip, but I'm also using a little bit of the side of the cutter. It gives the cutter a bit more support. It's a lot like turning when we were turning it with the, okay? And I need my safety glasses. And I'm gonna let's give this a, oops, make sure I put it in gear. There we go. And I'm gonna see how we're running here. Okay, so I was having a little problems here, and what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to take the tool out before I completely huff my insert. I'm going to, we have to bore a hole in here anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bore a hole, and that way I'm going to start working. I'll face from the inside out, and see if that helps me out some. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is center drill this, and this is really just a hole for me to get a boring bar in. So it's not, I do want it to be relatively straight, but it's not something immensely critical. Okay, let's see, make sure I'm not going to crash, and just a little bit of oil. And record, make sure I was recording. Alright. So there's my center. And let's back this off. And what I want to do is, here it is. I'm going to put a 1/2 inch drill bit in here. Let's see how this goes. This is hopefully it's not, might have to touch this up, but let's, there we go. Let's see how this goes. Looks alright, And let's see if I can get through here without smoking a drill bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower the speed to 265. So let's go ahead and do that. Little cutting, little oil. See how we do. So far, so good. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna touch up this drill bit. It's not too hot on the grinder. Okay. Yep. Looks pretty good. Okay. Actually, bring this up a little closer. There. All right. All right. So we made it without totally huffing a drill bit. It got almost huffed, but I can fix it. It's hard metal. It's really hard metal. And what I'm gonna do now is use this and get this in here. See how we sound here. They always chatter in the beginning. That's pretty good. So we are just about through. Okay. I'm gonna let that cool off before I take it out. But you wanna try and take it out because you do wanna try and take it out because you can hit your arm on it. And not bad at all. Let's go back to this. Maybe if I come in this direction, I'll have some better results. Let's try. Let's just try it. Let's go speed and yeah. Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad. Let's put this in, back in, and I'm gonna use this, and I'm actually gonna use it at this angle. All right, and let's get a measurement. Make sure we're okay. Here, got a little lip there, but that's all right. Okay. Ooh. 4 thousandths. All right, no problem. So I'm gonna take 5 though, and right there. I'm going to take 5 thousandths. And we'll be about a thou under. Measuring that way, which is not a good way to measure. You guys know that, right? By now. So there's 5. So what I did is I just touched off really lightly and tighten the, don't forget to put this back into gear. And yeah, we're going the right way. So here we go. So I can live with that. I think, yeah. That looks pretty good. And let's do this. I'm just gonna chamfer this edge. There. There we go. Let's see if we've got, how's that? Yeah, one more. Just bump that just a little bit. Just a little bit more. Right there. Yeah, good. Double check our measurement. Remember, we could be a thou under, which is totally fine, or 2. Let's see how we come up here. All right, I'll get that straight. 2 under. We're good. We start the boring process. Let me get rid of some of these strings here. And so I'm not so sure. I don't have compressed air. So I'm not sure if I should just wait till I get compressed air back or I'm thinking actually. Well, what I'm gonna do, oh, that's the wrong bar. What I'm gonna do thinking. Let's get this going. So this, I'm gonna run pretty much straight. Yeah, and I'll bring the tool up here so you can see. So now I've got what I've got is relief this way and relief that way. And that's the way that this bar was designed to operate. All right. Looks pretty good, actually. And so let's take a couple passes here. I'm gonna run it a little bit high just in the beginning. And then I'll drop it. I'm gonna run it a little bit high. That way it'll clear in there, okay? And thing looks good. Yeah, everything looks pretty good. So same kind of thing here. Oh, hang on. Whoops, I totally forgot to show you. So we are doing this. We're gonna put this section in right here, okay? And that we want to go to a depth of 1.563 and a diameter of 2.51. So we got a ways to go here, but I'll get this set up and show you that. So same thing as turning. I'm gonna put the bar there, okay? And then I'm going to preload my indicator a little bit. That's my 0. But I'm not gonna go all the way to 6.3. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to bore to 1.5, okay? And I'm gonna leave that 63 thousandths on the back wall, okay? And then when it's time, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do when I get there. So really, it's just like turning, except on the inside. And so we're going to be boring that, all right, and to 2.5. And I'm at roughly 1 inch right now, a little bit less, so it's going to be a while, all right? And you'll see. So I got my 0 on my Z. There, I'm going to touch off on the inside, and I don't know, let's just take 20 thousandths plus the touch off, so 25 thousandths. And that's cutting nice. So I just watch the indicator here. And we want to go to 1.5. There's 1. 1.1. 1.2, 3, 4, and I'll stop at the 90. There's 1.5 inches. Okay. So bring the bar out. Clear the chips. So if I had compressed air, I would just shoot it in there. And, okay. And yeah, looking good. So I'm going to take another, well, I don't know. What do you want to do? 25? Let's do 20. Let's do 30. Let's do 30. Let's see. Let's just do 30. It's doing all right. Not a lot of vibration. And you can definitely feel a little bit, but not bad. One inch. .5. Okay. Yeah, I wish I had some air. I really wish I had some air. I need to blow those chips out. That's not bad. And I don't have air. 10, 20, 30. So I'm gonna keep going until I'm at 2.5 inches. And then I'm not gonna film this because it's just the same thing over and over again. And then we'll come back on when I'm close to 2.5 inches, okay? I'll show you the inside real quick. 1.4, 90, there's 0. All right. So what I want to do is blow out these chips, and you can see I'm gradually getting bigger and bigger. I think you can see in there. Let me grab my phone. Okay. Let's see. That's a tough shot. All right. So I'm going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. 1.5 deep to 2.5 inches in diameter. All right, looking pretty good. All right, so let me show you where we're at here. So I had some problems. Not gonna lie, I had some problems. What's happening is I don't have compressed air right now, and so these chips are getting caught in here, which you're gonna see in a moment. I'm gonna give you a rough dimension here on what we're looking at. So you know, whatever, 2.45556. So we've got about 45 thousandths there, and I did take a little bit off that back wall. There's a burr here. Let's see, we can, yeah, it's gonna be hard. There's a burr there, but you know, with the burr, say 10 or 15 thousandths for that burr, I've got a little bit off that back wall to go. Okay, so here we go. Here, let me just make sure I'm zeroed out. I'm just gonna touch off the tip of the tool right here, and preload my depth gauge. All right, there we are. And I'm gonna go slow now, okay? Because I am getting to near the end, and you're gonna see me battle these chips. The chip battle is brutal, and I'm just gonna be straight with you on that. I'm gonna lower this just a little. All right, and let's see how we're running here. All right, so touch off on that inside wall. Just touch it there, okay? And I'm gonna take, I don't know, 15 on this pass, okay? Yep. Okay, it's doing that vibration thing again, and so, like I said, I had some problems. I'm gonna raise the tool back up. I really did. I'm actually really surprised about all the problems that I had. This material is tough. It's tough. More vibrations. Man, what's going on? I was just, like I was saying, I had some problems. Let's see if that gets any better. All right. Nope. what I'm doing, I gotta pull out these chips as they start stacking up in the back, and it's just causing a lot of problems. So here we come. I'm just going slow here. When the tool hits the corner, there it is, you'll hear that. I'm gonna come in here about there, lock the carriage. That's the tool in the corner making that squealing sound. Okay? And all right. Sure I didn't. No, we're good. And I got a little vibration going on. Let's see if I can check my zero here. See if I can fix that. And all right, let's try that. I'm just gonna touch it there, and just happened to land on zero. So I'm only gonna take a little bit here. I wanna stay in control. Okay, so I'll go up to 50 this time. All right, and I'm getting that back wall too. Okay. Let's see how we look. All right. So I got some vibration in there, which I don't want. So we're gonna have to get rid of that. And the back wall is okay. It's not fantastic. I think I'm actually gonna slow down my feed rate. See if that makes a difference. I'm at 50 on that back wall. And all right, so I've got 25 thousandths left on diameter and about 13 thousandths in depth. I'm gonna slow us down, see if that helps out any. Come on, there we go. And I'm just gonna touch it, okay? Of course, in the midst of problems, you had more problems and the battery died. But good news is, check that out. Looks like I got it. So really, I'm not shining you here. I was only away for the finish pass and that battery change. So let's see where we're at. I haven't even measured yet. Don't want you guys to think that I'm pulling your leg here. So 211, let's check that with the mics. It should be 2.5, let's see, 2.5, 11 and a half. So I'll just take another quick measurement and make sure I'm just a hair over. And that's fine because it's just a clearance anyway, so the parts fit. Okay, and just double check we got 210. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, and I got about 2 thousandths left on that back wall. I'm gonna hit that. And so let me just check my depth. So I'm sure my tool might have moved a little. Nope, it didn't. All right, so we're spot on 0. I got 2 thousandths on the back wall, and I'll just skim this, maybe a thou on the diameter here. And it looks like we're gonna get it. All right, so I'm listening actually more than I'm watching. There it is, okay? I'm barely touching. I'm just gonna take like a thou right there. And then, of course, when I get to that corner, it might squeal on me a little bit, okay? But there's not a lot I can do except have a different type of tool. Okay, so I'll come up to 63 thousandths, lock the carriage, not even squealing on me. That's great. And here you go. Okay, let's see how we look. Ah, not bad, not bad, not bad. So let's take a measurement here. A little bit of chatter, just a little. I can see it a little bit in the finish, but that's okay. And let's see. So, I don't like that pool. Okay. There we go. And so we should be around 211, 212, I'm guessing. 210 and a half. All right. So we're really close. Let's take another measurement. Really kind of got real. I got lucky, but I saved it. And yeah, 211. I'm gonna say 211. Okay. And then off that back wall, I'll make a very rough indicators. So let's see where we are on that back wall. 1, 5, 6, 6.2 roughly. Nah, I'm gonna stop. Okay. And we're good. Okay. So, we're good. And now what we've got, you can see, I think you can see that, 625 deep, 625 deep by 0.351. So I just gotta, right? Okay, here we go. All right, let's see. Here's where we're at. Does not fit yet. Try this one, see if this fits. Yes. All right. So, where we're at, we want to be at 3.5. So we're at 3.330. So let's see. I want to stop a little bit before that. So 430 is 100, right? So let's do 150, okay? And I'm actually at 0. I stopped there and picked this up. So I'm going to show you guys 40 thousandths. Okay, another 40, so that'll be 80. All right. Another 40, so that'll be 120. All right, and I said 150, so we'll do 30. This is how it's supposed to go. All right, turn it off, brush some chips away. And let's get a measurement here. Okay. Good enough. And see where we're at. Okay, so we came in close. So let's do 25. Okay. I'm going to do 25 and take a measurement. Okay. And okay. Yep. So I'll do 9. 9. Okay, and then I'm going to do one more skim pass, is what it's called. All right, bringing us up to 625. I'm in the corner. Change direction of the power feed. We're going out. Okay. So needless to say, I had some problems on that, but they are, for the most part, solved. There's some vibration in there, probably because my bar is sticking out a little long. Let's see what we got. I like to do it the other way, but that's all right. Oh. Yeah, we might be a little bit, just a hair over, but let's see. Oh no, let's see. All right. It's still pretty tight. I think I'm gonna be, hang on, let me do it one more time. It's still at an angle. It's not, there we go. There we go. So yeah, we're 2 over, 2,000. That's fine with me. What I'm gonna do now is we gotta do the back of this. I don't think it's gonna be actually too difficult. And put this in. And we don't need this anymore because we're going all the way through. And so let's see how we look here. So I'm gonna have to run this a little bit high to clear first. Too high. Let's come down and Yeah. Let's give that a try. And I just want to take a little bit off that inside. And hope we don't shatter. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, let's see. All right. Yep. We're doing it. Okay, so I'm gonna do another 15. And remember, I need to be 21, maybe 22. I think 22, 1.122 would be where I really want to be. So there's another 15, okay? And, all right, so remember, I want to be in that neighborhood. 122 would be ideal. All right. It's always so funny. The hardest bore always is the easiest, right? That didn't make a lot of sense, but you get my point. All right, so we're doing it here. All right, I'm gonna take another measurement, and then it's just about time to break out the mics. Yeah, same thing. Okay, so I'm gonna do 5. Let's do 5, and then we'll break out the micrometers. Okay, so I'm going to push the tool that way a little. That way I don't scrape the tool along its surface, okay, because I've got a pretty good feeling that I'm done. All right. And let's check it. All right, and real quick, I'll use the mics. 1, 2, 1, and then 1 to 2 right here. So let's see what the mics say. One, 2, 1, and 3/10. So I'm there. I'm right there. Okay. Awesome. And then we'll inspect it in a minute. But let's I'm going to use this chamfering tool to clean some things up. Okay, and so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have to adjust the tool, but let's just grab this edge real quick. All right, there's that, and then I think it's this one. I gotta make the tool come out a little bit longer. Whoops. So I can get in there. Well, I mean, like, really in there. I hope it doesn't shatter sticking out this far, but whoop. It won't. Tiny, tiny cut. All right. All right, so let's grab this. Good. Let's grab this wall here, or this, not wall, corner. Okay. I'm gonna hit that again. Yeah. There we go. Much better. All right. Yeah. So let's just make sure we'll make it in there before we're not gonna crash. Okay, I'll put the camera here so you can see. Right there. And I'm gonna hit this one. I'm doing this one-handed, guys. Do this right here. Yeah. So wait for the machine to stop. Yeah. Yeah, we're good. Still got a little burr on that. Let me see. Got an idea. Let's hit this. Ah. There. Okay. Good. Yeah. All right. Okay. That's pretty good. So let's take it out. Oh, let me buff it really quick. Just with some Scotch-Brite, okay? And get the tool out. And put some Scotch-Brite down here. Just gonna you guys, I don't want you to do this until, actually, if you're here at school, until I personally show you. I don't want you to do this unless I show you. Not even anybody else. Okay, I want to be the one to show you how to do this safely. I'm kind of serious. You can get hurt. Okay. So let me show you how to do this safely. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's we can go ahead and take this out and Chuck key. Okay, and all right. Well, we'll take some measurements. So let's okay. Let's take a look. We got a little bit of chatter in there, just a tiny bit. The bore actually looks really nice. Careful with these, they're sharp. Okay, and that'll fit in there. So that was supposed to be 2.2 2.51 plus or minus 3 thousandths. Right? You guys have the drawing. I know you're not looking at it. You got the drawing. And this is 2.58. Let's try that again. I thought it was a little bit over. There might still be a, that could be it. There it is. Okay, so 2.5, I mean, that's really close. 2.5, 10, we've got that I don't have the mic out for, so we'll just use this. This we've got 3.5. I'm going to say 12 or 13 on that one. That's fine, okay? And the important one down here, the spindle bore. We're going to do both sides of the spindle bore. All right, so there's that. Okay. 21. And then this particular mic, which I didn't talk about, it has a vernier scale on it to read 10 thousandths place, and that's looking like 3/10. So we're pretty much right in the middle of that. Remember, 2.121, right? Yeah. Or, yeah. Is that right? I didn't mess this up. No, that's right. 1.121 and 3/10. And that's what this says. One more time. Okay. Yeah. 2.21. Also want to see this side. Okay. Hopefully they're roughly the same. Yeah, it is smaller. And that's what happens. The bar deflected, and it's feeling like it's a little bit smaller. And that's what happens over those long bores. It just is, yeah. So I'm about 3 thousandths smaller on this side. Sure you can see. Forgot my phone. I'm sure you can. So I'm about 3 thousandths smaller on this side as opposed to this side, but that's okay because we are going to lap the inside of this, all right? And that 3 thousandths to lap out is not going to be fun to lap out. That's going to take a while. But I've got some, yeah, it is. I keep wanting it to read something different. But we're under, we're not over. And when we're under, then we know that we have material to remove instead of trying to grow material, which is impossible. All right, so this is looking pretty good. Oh, a couple more dimensions to take now that we don't have any burrs. This is supposed to be 625. 0.625. I mean, that's pretty, right? And this was this. Need the calculator. was supposed to be 1563, so we've got 933.933 plus 0.625, 0.558. I might get the the depth micrometers out. Let me see something. Okay, so we are plus 0.005. We're 3 thousandths. We should have gone 3 thousandths more, but we're still there. We're in pretty good shape. Okay, well, this was a tough one. It's gonna. I think it'll be easier from now on. Okay. I thought it would go smoother, but it didn't. This is some tough material. This is hard metal. All right. Have a good week, guys. You guys. See you soon.